Once you become enlightened and know your power, you will overcome all the hurdles which come in your way to prosperity. If you get stuck in the social values and norms, you will end up losing yourself. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. We are born free and almost have equal talents. You chalk out your own destiny. You decide your goals and use all means in your capacity to execute them. Whatsoever you do in your life, do it with heart. You only have one life, and you should not have any regrets when you die. Tough situations build stronger people. All the billionaires we see today were not born with a golden spoon. They choose a path and then prove themselves by doing what they were expert at. People will always oppose you when you dream big. There will always be hurdles, and even your near and dear ones may abandon you. But you have to believe in yourself and prove them wrong by your hard work and perseverance. People admire success stories. They hardly care about the struggle behind it, as there is a relevant connotation. Success is like pregnancy. Everyone congratulates you, but nobody knows how many times you are fucked to achieve it. You're what you do, not what you say you'll do. You're judged by your actions, not words. What you do in your life matters the most. What you plan to do is secondary. Some people are men of words and not actions. They say something and act opposite. This is hypocrisy and needs to be avoided. If you want to move ahead in your life, then you must act instead of speaking. People who are serious and concerned about their goals, they practically execute them and stand among the victorians. If you keep on delaying and wasting your time and energy, you will despise yourself at the end of the day. Do it today, as tomorrow does not exist. Even if it does, nobody has seen it. Everyone can plan and daydream. Hardly few are able to achieve it. It's entirely up to us, whether we want to be men of words or men of actions. Former will bring you no honor, while the latter will make you fly and shine. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate. The things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. Loneliness is not necessarily absence of the people around you. It's your inability to communicate with people present around you. You feel lonely when you are unable to open your heart to others. Deep inside, you know nobody will truly understand you. For this reason, you do not interact with people present with you. Loneliness is a great blessing in many ways. It gives you an opportunity to entirely focus on yourself and improve. Sometimes it is necessary to be lonely to enjoy and cherish nature. Loneliness may also be related to holding different views from the rest of the people. You believe in something which others find odd. For you, it's loneliness, because no one perceives things the way you do. You can remove loneliness from your life if you surround yourself with people who are like-minded and their presence makes you happy. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other. Humans own demons and fears. We are unable to cope with such horrible situations at times. The best course is to identify them and to face whatever lets you down. Once you know yourself and identify your talents, then you can deal with any tough and terrible situation. Aristotle believed 90% of people never achieve their goals in life. The reason is they are never consistent and don't develop good habits. Life requires consistency in order to be a content one. Introspection is a tool through which you can deal with any danger. We have to build ourselves strong to deal with threats. Believe your intuitions and go extra mile in your struggle. It's a privilege for you if you become what you dreamt. Everyone dreams, but hardly lucky ones attain them. Those are the ones who faced and overcame their fears and ultimately stood victorious. Know the art of staying positive in every situation, and you will never ever go astray. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. Addiction is defined as doing something repeatedly and compulsively. Addiction of any sort is bad and harmful for your health. There are many kinds of addiction, like narcotic addict, alcohol addict, or idealism addicts. Many factors contribute to make someone addict. Regardless of your morality and norms, certain other elements like your genes, your environment, and age factor play an important part. If you become addicted to drugs, it will spoil your health and create a lot more complications. Above all, it's a social taboo. Nobody likes to hang out with druggies and addicts. Society never accepts such fringe elements with them. It's a problem not for yourself, but people around you too. People who love you will also suffer if you become addicted to drugs. Instead of social boycott of such people, they should be given a healing touch. Addicts are in need of proper care and a rehabilitating process. There are situations which force young people into addicts, and they should be supported in their fight with drugs and all sort of addiction. There is another common addiction which we call perfection or idealism. Idealism is related to forming ideals and living under their influence for the rest of your life. Idealists try to make everything perfect. In doing so, they spend their whole lives and still remain unsatisfied. We need to remind ourselves that certain things are not under our control, and we must let go of such things. What we can do is to try our best and leave the rest. Outcome may not always be according to our sweet will, but there will always be room for improvement. Remember, you can always do better.
I am young. I'm 20 years old, yet I know nothing of life but despair, death, fear, and fatuous superficiality cast over an abyss of sorrow. I see how people are set against one another, and in silence, unknowingly, foolishly, obediently, innocently slay one another. Shakespeare rightly says, "Chaos, chaos, everywhere chaos." In this materialistic world, we are all full of evils and darkness. To feed our own tummy, we put all the principles to the wind. We breed unnecessary enmities to satisfy our egos, and as a matter of fact, life is too short to be involved in such enmities. There is much more than absurd hatred, and we can conquer world through love, beauty, and truth. We strive our time and energy on enemies that don't even exist. There is never-ending rivalries and conflicts raging in the world, and we must play our part to bring normalcy and peace to this rotten world. But now, for the first time, I see you are a man like me. I thought of your hand grenades, of your bayonet, of your rifle. Now I see your wife and your face and our fellowship. Forgive me, comrade. We always see it too late. Why do they never tell us that you are poor devils like us? That your mothers are just as anxious as ours, and that we have the same fear of death, and the same dying and the same agony. Forgive me, comrade. How could you be my enemy? War always brings chaos and misery. It is so true that peace cannot be achieved without war. Those soldiers fighting from opposite sides sail in the same boat. They leave behind their families, children, and mothers. The only difference between both the troops is they are fighting the same cause for different groups. There is no personal enmity between the soldiers, but both are part of greater power games which require them to sacrifice everything for their cause. And ultimately they conclude they are not enemies anymore, and that's perhaps too late. This gives us the reflection of peace and amicable settlements of disputes. War should be avoided, and peace should always be your last resort in all the circumstances. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. We are all imperfects, and that's perfectly all right. Perfection is not the end. It can be a means to an end. If you eye for perfection, and if you don't even get it, you may end up being brilliant. Humans are full of drawbacks, and we strive hard for perfection. We forget that ultimately we have to depart even being perfect. Thus do what your heart commands, and never undermine your capabilities. You are born to express yourself, not to impress others. We learn by erring, and this process continues until we get to our excellence. You need to eye for more growth and development, and put your best to get to your goals, but do not despise yourself chasing perfection. We are not young any longer. We don't want to take the world by storm. We are fleeing. We fly from ourselves, from our life. We were 18 and had begun to love life and the world, and we had to shoot it to pieces. Youth has its own charm and charisma. There is a storm inside us, and we are much passionate about everything while we are young. But as the time passes by, we get calm and moderate. We look at things through different lenses and try to sort out things through saner senses. During our peak of youth, we love life and adore it much, but as practicality overcomes us, we become muffled about all the fantasies. The problems and difficulties of life bow us down, and we hardly care for things as we grow older. We become satisfied with what we have, and there lacks a passion which was imminent during youth period. That's life, my friend, and it moves on with or without things which you hold to your heart. It is very queer that the unhappiness of the world is so often brought on by small men. It has been said that the greatest happiness is to know the cause of unhappiness, which is always brought by the small faction of the society. Happiness is not a fixed or absolute phenomenon, but it varies from person to person and place to place. Few but a powerful lot of the society either bring harmony or chaos. Those at the helm of affairs should think for the collective good of people, and try to give them comfort amidst this selfishness and self-aggrandizement. At the same time, on behalf of the people, it is also imperative to select those people at the higher posts who are capable of bringing happiness to a large number of people and who work for utilitarianism. We are forlorn like children, and experienced like old men. We are crude and sorrowful and superficial. I believe we are lost. Sometimes we feel so lonely and stranded at the same time. We feel helpless like children and experienced like the old ones. For one moment, we feel powerful enough to uproot all the evils, but next moment we succumb to the dangers of life. It seems as if we are waging through the uncertainties of life and lost in the darkness. There comes a time in everyone's life where we see no light and become so desperate about the realities of life. This is the result of overthinking and negativity. Know that what's inevitable will always come no matter what. Just remain positive and things will be better in due course of time. I did not want to think so much about her. I wanted to take her as an unexpected, delightful gift that had come and would go again, nothing more. I meant not to give room to the thought that it could ever be more. I knew too well that all love has the desire for eternity and that therein lies its eternal torment. Nothing lasts. Nothing. We take everything for granted, whether it's love, care, or anything else. People come and go in your life, and it's wiser not to keep many expectations from anyone. Nothing is permanent and everything is going to an end. If you love someone deeply, get ready to let them go as well. We all wish for our love to be eternal and long-lasting, but there are always certain predicaments, and we must accept the reality. What's here will remain so, and let go of things and people which make you sad. Life is short, and do not torment yourself by unnecessary bonding to the people who don't value you.
There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle.
It is an inspirational quote that encourages people to look at the world differently. It encourages people to see the beauty in the small things in life and appreciate them fully because they are miracles. It also encourages people not to take life for granted and enjoy every moment as it comes, because it could be gone in an instant. This quote encourages us to look at our lives through a different lens and change how we interact with others and with ourselves. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge.
knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. If you can dream it, you can do it. Always remember that this whole thing started with a dream and a mouse. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. The idea behind this is that if you can't explain something clearly enough that even a child would understand it, then there's something wrong with your explanation. It's too complicated or confusing or filled with jargon. Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. You have to have an imagination in order to invent anything. You have to have an imagination in order to think of new ideas, and that's the most important part of creativity. You can work hard all your life, but if you don't have an imagination, it won't do any good. Without leaps of imagination or dreaming, we lose the excitement of possibilities. Dreaming, after all, is a form of planning. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. If you are not willing to fight for what you want, then you do not deserve it. Life is a sum of all your choices. Whatever choice you make, remember that it will always be your choice. Don't blame others for the outcome of your decisions, because you're the only one who can decide what to do with life and how to live it. So if things didn't work out as you expected them to be, then do something about it. Change is never easy, but it's always worth it in the end. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Mistakes are part of growth and learning. You can't learn new things without making mistakes, so embrace them and don't be afraid to make them. If you always play it safe and do what everyone else is doing, you'll never stand out or be remembered. The people who are remembered are the ones who took risks and made mistakes. They were original and unique in their own way. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Understanding is a kind of insight. It is achieved by the mind insofar as it has become capable of grasping and forming an idea of its object. It means that anyone can know facts about something without understanding them or knowing why they are important. To truly understand something means having a deeper knowledge about its effects on our lives and on the world around us. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. Curiosity is a powerful force that can open up the universe to us. It is an essential part of our humanity, and it has been called the mother of invention. When we are curious about something, we want to learn about it. We want to find out more about it. We want to understand it better. Albert Einstein once said, "I have no special talents, I am only passionately curious." He understood that curiosity is what drives us to learn new things and expand our knowledge in different areas of life. Try not to become a man of success. Rather become a man of value. Success vanishes with death, but value of your work remains. It does not matter how much rich you were and how much you have at the end. What matters is your addition to this society. What you did for the world and its people. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. We are in this together. We are one human family. We are connected to each other. And I think that's what makes us who we are. So let us use this time, this day, and this moment to reflect on what unites us and what we can do to bring people together. Let us resolve to work together using our collective will and our collective voice to create a world where love is the way.
You never fail until you stop trying.
You are the designer of your life. The power to create is the best and the most exciting thing that exists. Don't let anyone take that away from you or make it seem like it's not a possibility for you. You can have anything you want in this world if you just put your mind to it and work hard enough for it. Everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand why right away. If something bad happens to us in life, then we must realize that there is always something positive. That comes out of every negative experience we go through in our lives. We just have to keep pushing forward until we find it.
This is very simple. A constant guest is never welcome. Perhaps absence does make the heart grow fonder. When we pay someone frequent visits, we may not be warmly welcomed and greeted. It's better to make yourself valuable. People take you for granted and manipulate you in unimaginable ways. You may have seen people who get close to others in no time and then leave them instantly. The reason is we are self-obsessed by nature. We hardly tolerate other people's company and get over them. You are the one who makes your value or degrade it. If you go and see your friends daily, then there will come a day when you won't be treated the way you want to. And all fault is yours because you were the one who made yourself 24/7 available for them. Wisdom lies in keeping yourself upright and brave. Let people miss you and make an urge for your company. You are valuable only when you realize your time and energy. Then after an interval, your company will be much more cherished than frequent visits. As it is said, absence only makes the heart grow fonder. While constant meet UPS create problems in any relationship. Thus avoid such actions which make you worthless. Know your importance and value it more than anything else. Because when you lose your wealth, you lose nothing. When you lose your health, you lose something, and when you lose your worth, you lose everything. Very simple to understand. Time will take care of your pain or sadness. Change is the only constant in this world. Nothing lasts forever, whether it's happiness or sorrow. Once you realize that, you may not mourn your heart further. We all face different problems in our life and get panicked. Such incidents make our hearts heavy and we feel a lot of pain. However, there is one important thing to remember in such distress times, that time will heal everything. No matter how much you cry over your worries, it will not lessen your pain. It will take some time, And with the passage of time, things will be all right. This life is very short and we should not worry about petty things. Let nature follow its due course. If you create any hurdles in its way, it will ruin your life in the form of negativity and overthinking. Try to remain positive and encourage yourself. As the saying goes, motivation comes from within. No one can make you move unless you do it yourself. Remain peaceful during your bad time and create positive energy to overpower the chaotic situations. Never stop trying. If you fall, just get up again. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Failure is not final when you fall down, it is final when you don't get up. If you give up midway, you will despise yourself for the rest of your life. Tough situations are temporary, and they do not last forever, but tough people surely do last forever. If you fail again and again, don't mind it. And take every failure as an opportunity to take the best of you. There will always be a silver lining and you will come stronger than ever. There are people who get some setbacks and think it's the end of their life. They cannot see beyond it. They lack courage and will to face what terrifies them. Always know that impossible is nothing. And you have that ability in you, what it takes to win. As it is said, when tough gets going, going gets tough. You will prevail at the end of the day if you keep trying. The best way in life is to get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. A coward always gives up and never tries again, while a brave person always stares the danger in the face and keeps trying until it's done. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Give your best where you lack, and nothing can stop you from achieving success. A bird in hand is worth more than 100 flying around. Something is better than nothing. Some people do not appreciate what they have, rather keep on aggrandizing. In trying to attain more and more, such a lot lose what they already have. Actually, humans are greedy, selfish, and materialistic. They keep chasing through their life just to double their assets. They forget they are not here forever. Growth and prosperity is everyone's right. But what to do with such wealth which disturbs your mental peace and always keeps you in the race? We always look up to the people who are more influential than us. We hardly care to know the ones who hardly meet their ends. Think how lucky we are to have a meal and warm blanket. Some people cannot even afford that much luxury in life. Life is a lot more than multiplying your assets. You must take out time to appreciate other aspects of life as well. Value things which you have and never stake your peace for petty gains. After all, we have to go one day and every possession of yours will be left behind. Enjoy your life as if it were the last day, so that when you die without any regrets. Shoemaker to his shoes. Some people are always in the habit of intervening. They try to prove as if they know everything. Such people can't mind their own business. They prove right to be the jack of all trades but master of none. They keep dabbling instead of expertising one particular job. If people do what they are assigned to do, they can contribute a lot towards the overall development of any community or group of people. If everyone interferes in others' matters, there will be problems. Social fabric of any society requires functional specialization among its people. Everybody is required to do a particular job and not to interfere with others. This can take us far ahead as an individual as well if we keep this principle in mind. If a shoe manufacturer does not mend shoes and interfere in others' business, then who will do his job? We must stick to our own business and leave rest to others. Progress and growth of any society is inevitable if its people do their own assigned job and refrain from objecting to others. We also see this functional specialization in our political system. All three branches, including legislature, executive, and judiciary, do their own particular job and do not meddle in others' affairs. Thus, we should do our best to mind our own business if we are to excel. When one is hungry, there is no bad bread. You can't be picky when asking for something. Beggars can't be choosers. Those who are dependent on others have no choice of their own. If you want to be choosy, then you must be independent. For that you need to create your own resources and means. A beggar cannot demand from his master to fulfill his wish. He will get what his master wants and nothing more. We can also apply this rule to ourselves. If we are to be the master of our fate, we have to be independent of others. If you become dependent on others, your self-respect will be compromised. Even you will be met with insults sometimes as well. Whatever you ask in alms, you can't be choosy over that. If you want to be respected by others, then you will need to create your own opportunities. Such people are never respected anywhere who are dependent on others for something. If you want respect for yourself, instead of pledging others for favor, be the one to reward others. It is rightly said, if you don't like any rule, then build yourself enough to change them. There are so many examples in front of you. Jack Ma, CEO of Alibaba Group, used to wash dishes just to make ends meet. He put day and night into his ambitions and achieved what he was capable of. If you want to be respected and admired by the society, you must be independent of others regarding any affairs. Tell me who you're with, and I'll tell you who you are. This particular Spanish proverb is quite similar to the English phrase, man is known by the company he keeps. If we surround ourselves with optimistic people, they will feed creativity and positivity to our thoughts. Like wish, if we surround ourselves with the people who have a bad reputation, they will make us like them. We will make mischief and waste our time in unproductive activities. If you have good people among your company, your character and overall conduct will be exemplified, but if you have stubborn people among you, you will behave like one. Life gives you many opportunities to make amends for yourself in order to lead a better and meaningful life. Once you realize you are indulged in bad company, it's time to give up such people. It's up to the person whether he grabs the opportunity or misses it. The opportunities provide you a chance for inner sight and self-improvement. A failing person has got a good opportunity to make up for his mistakes and win the honor through his wit, craft, and resilience. A person missing the chances is only left with regrets and miseries for the rest of his life. Thus, the best lesson in life is to surround yourself with like-minded and positive people. This way you can seize the opportunity and get the desired outcome in life. He that can't endure the bad will not live to see the good. Neither failure is fatal nor success is final, but both move parallel in our life. Those who cry foul over setbacks cannot cherish good times. Bad times are there for a reason. It makes you stronger and enables you to prevail in unfavorable situations. Reward is for those who remain steadfast during their testing times. A short-tempered and haughty person can never see good times because of his stubborn attitude. Some people get overjubilant when they become successful. They ignore and look down on their friends. Such people are selfish fellows who need your company just to pass time. Avoid them to the possible extent. Nevertheless, both endurance and failure are interconnected. When you create enough endurance inside you to face any consequences, that's the time when you reach your destiny. Bad times create tough people who always overcome the circumstances. Know that when bad times are over, then there is time for the worst period of your life. You will even think of quitting and doubting your abilities, but know that you can do it. And if you give up, you will never be able to see a silver lining in your life. Do not be wise in words, be wise in deeds. Some people are men of words and not action. As a result, they always claim big things and make plans and lack the action part. The real wisdom is in doing the work first and then let your success make some noise. Instead of advising others and giving them lectures, you should first act upon it yourself. As a leader, one does it first himself, and then shows you the way. People who just talk wise and do not take actions hardly make any difference in the society. They lack influence and people do not pay any heed to their sermons. There is already enough mentoring and motivation. Now is the time to take action and lead a pleasant life. You know life is quite short and you need to be wise and brave to wage through it. Merely talking good won't be enough unless you execute what you say. You don't need to pretend like you are the fountain of knowledge. But if you practically demonstrate wisdom in your actions, then people will look forward to you for guidance and mentoring. Man of deeds, not words, prevail in tough situations. Those of you who lack action in their struggle will end up with nothing. If you want to achieve prominence in your life, then you need to act now. A bird that you set free may be caught again, but a word that escapes your lips will not return. If a bird is released from the cage, then after a brief period of time it may be caught again and caged. But it's not the same in case of our words. Whatever you say from your mouth, it cannot be undone. There is a famous saying, think before you speak. Because if you speak without thinking, then you may regret your words. Sometimes we utter complete nonsense in wrath and then later on realize our mistake, but till then it's too late. As the arrow is once shooted, it cannot be pulled back. Same is the case here. Whatever you speak cannot be put back into your mouth. Thus exercise control when you deal with others. Always measure your words before saying it to others. If you do that, you will deal with people in an eloquent manner. Hurting someone does not always include physical violence, but you can hurt others emotionally too. Your harsh words and tirade put your near ones in shock and make them sad. You may then apologize and sort out issues, but what's lost is lost forever. You may lose your respect in front of others with your not-so-cool words. You need to keep in mind that you cannot solve all the problems of others. And what least you can do is to make them feel comfortable with your company. Do not make them sad with your words, as everyone you meet is fighting an untold battle inside him. Do not add fuel to the fire and make things right through your words while dealing with others. Not to have felt pain is not to have been human. Problems and difficulties come up in every human's life, and anyone who claims an exception to it is a superhuman. We all get upset over setbacks and feel pain when we lose our near and dear ones. However, we can turn pain into anger and then anger into our victory against all the odds. Even the most successful people which you see around you have endured the pain in their lives, and they coped with it very boldly. It is said tough situations do not last forever, but tough people do. When you bear some pain, it will bring the best out of you and make you even stronger, as there is no gain without some pain. Life is not too long, and resolve to deal with the problems in the utmost positive way. You must keep in mind that there are certain outcomes which are not under our control. Instead of beating your head, you need to accept the reality as it is. Just let go of things where you cannot do anything. Your life will be less chaotic and more pleasant. But it's just a paradox if someone claims to have no problems in life at all. We all have our problems and deal with them in our own way. Remember, we are all perfectly imperfect, and that's perfectly all right. What you don't see with your eyes, don't invent with your mouth. This particular Jewish quote sheds light on the importance of testimony. Do not pay lip service unless you verify things with your senses. How can you give your opinion on the incident which you are unaware of? If someone comes to you and complains against any of your friends, do not believe it unless you see it yourself with your eyes and hear with your ears. There are manipulators who try to exploit your relationships with misinformation and propaganda. In the present world, misinformation is one of the biggest problems. Every state tries to encounter it through proactive strategic planning. As Yuval Noah Harari rightly says in his book, in this era of misinformation and disinformation, clarity is power. Thus, do not make any conclusion unless you know all ins and outs of a particular thing. This will help you in overall your decision-making process. People who jump into pools without prior information often get drowned. You cannot give any false testimony without having seen it with your eyes. Otherwise, your one action can bring disaster and put things in disarray. Thus, always remain honest and upright while dealing with others. Truth is good while lying is evil, and refrain yourself from embracing evil. As he thinks in his heart, so he is. Man is a complex creature and is in need of content and happiness. Happiness is also something which is not absolute. Everybody perceives it differently and utilizes the different methods to attain it. Men spend major portion is searching out how a good man ought to be instead of being one. Abraham Lincoln summed it up quite eloquently: when I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion. Your brain is just like a machine. If you are able to control and tame it properly, you will possess the virtues of resilience, strength, and moderation. If you think good, automatically you will do good, and it will bring positive energy to you. But if you indulge yourself in negativity, it will induce evil in your thoughts and you may become one. The outcome of any events depends upon our reaction. In other words, how your brain processes and reacts to it is of vital importance. Just like our body needs food, the brain also needs food for its nourishment. It must be fed with knowledge, wisdom, truth, and justice to overcome the happening and the events outside it. If you know the art to remain positive amidst all chaos, no one can beat you in wits. Just think good and you will be a good being. Lose with truth and right rather than gain with falsehood and wrong. Honesty is always the best policy. Even if you are losing, never compromise on your principles. What to do with such winning which comes through cheating and lying and not the truth? Even if you lose with truth, it's all right, at least you know somewhere deep inside you that you have done the right thing. And listen to what's right. Some people use unfair means to win and never get internal content and satisfaction, because their own conscience won't let them rest. It will make them feel regretful of their evil doing. Thus, regardless of the results, you need to follow the path which is right and which keeps your heart at peace. Usually people who prefer shortcuts in life take the unfair way to accomplish what they desire. Instead of following the due path, they seek short way to gain their goals. This accomplishment won't last long, which is achieved through cheating and manipulation. If you want people to respect you and admire you, then you need to be upright and fair in your dealings. Backdoor channels won't take you ahead and ultimately makes you desperate. If you want your life to be pleasant, remain honest even if it gives you setbacks. At least you will have peace of mind, and that's what matters the most at the end of the day.
Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. When someone falls in love with you, takes care of you, it gives you huge strength. Those who love you believe in you wholeheartedly. With the encouragement of your loved ones, you can pass every test with flying colors. Your haters will bite the dust as you have the strength of your loved ones in you. Similarly, if you love someone, it's the source of great courage for you. It motivates you to do better with every passing day. You are content and happy because you are surrounded by the people who love you and adore you. When you get such motivation from your near ones, you will overcome all the problems. Love gives you a different perspective of life. You avoid indulging in negativity and quarrels. Through love, compassion, and sympathy, you will win over your worst enemies. Treat all with love and compassion regardless of any discrimination towards them. When you are loved by others or you love someone, it will make your heart soft and pure. Love is virtue and hatred is the worst of all evils. If we start loving others instead of enmity, our life will become like a garden of heaven. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These three are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts, you return to the source of being, patient with both friends and enemies. You accord with the way things are, compassionate toward yourself. You reconcile all beings in the world. Life is quite easy and comfortable when you lead it with some principles. In today's era of selfishness, everyone tries to do better and excel in life. With simplicity, compassion, and patience, you can lead a prosperous life free from any regrets. When you develop the above-mentioned qualities in your personality, You learn the art to lead a content life. When you think and act in a modest way, you find the purpose of life. You don't indulge yourself in complexities of life. You prefer simplicity and behave accordingly. When you show tolerance towards your friends and enemies, you get comfortable with the things as they are. And above all, when you show compassion and love towards yourself and other beings, you learn the art to become friendly with all beings. Life is too short to have conflicts and adversaries. Treat all with kindness and gentleness. You will feel certain changes within your personality once you equip yourself with these great virtues. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Nobody can reach destiny with shortcuts. Every step counts and takes you ahead. Success demands constant efforts and perseverance. It is said failure is not final when you fall down. It's final when you don't get up and take the next step. You need to appreciate yourself for every little effort you make towards accomplishing your goals. As drop by drop fills the oceans, similarly each step in the right direction will take you nearer towards your destinations. The only need is to have strong faith in your abilities. When you take step by step to your goals, you will reach your goals no matter how slow. Some people are comparatively more intelligent than others. They may take many steps at times owing to their genius and intelligence. On the contrary, an average person may walk slowly and steadily, but he will surely achieve what he desires. We must buck up all those who have a long way to go. Such people just need a bit of appreciation and they will overcome all the obstacles on their way. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Our mind is in need of constant training and mentoring just like our body needs food to grow. Human mind is the most powerful weapon that, if tamed well, can take you to the heights of glory. When you know others, it credits to your intelligence. You know how to deal and interact with other people. But the real wisdom lies in knowing yourself. Know yourself thoroughly. Improve your actions and words, and you will be the master of your own fate. When you are able to control your mind, nothing will shake you in life. Similarly, when you rule others, it's a great power, but if you are able to rule yourself, then you are the luckiest one. When you notice your words and actions closely, you try to improve and grow from better to best. This way, you learn the virtues of wisdom and self-restraint. There is no more nobler pleasure than knowing yourself. As Socrates rightly puts up, to know is to know that you know nothing. Thus, even if you truly know others, still you know nothing. People are guile and have many faces. Be cautious to know and interact with other people. Like-minded people will make your life pleasant and peaceful, while those with vested agendas may harm you and put your existence in danger. Thus choose wisely the people with whom you spend your time. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. It is said sometimes things happen for a reason and we can't do anything but to let them go off. What is yours will come to you no matter what. The real secret lies in knowing that the outcome of certain activities is not under control. Once you know that, you will never get upset with the events of life. When you overthink about such outcomes, it will feed negativity to your heart and corrupt your mind. We need to build courage to face the reality no matter how harsh. If something is meant for you, it will come to you in spite of every opposition. But if something is not meant for you, it will remain so no matter how much you strive. Thus, the best course of action is to let the nature follow its due course. What you can do in your capacity is to create endurance and tolerance. This will enable you to deal with the difficulties in a reasonable manner. Getting panicked and worried about the outcomes of things which are not under your control will only worsen the situation. Always remember, nothing lasts forever, whether it's happiness or sorrow, but change is the only constant in life. If you are flexible enough and accept change with your open heart, you will cope with every problem no matter how tough it might be. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. Humans are unique but different at the same time. Everyone is blessed in some way. According to Plato, there is functional specialization among humans. Everybody is suited to a particular job. You are you and I am I, you have your way and I have my way, and as far as the right way is concerned, it does not exist. Always be yourself and be natural. Don't compare yourself with others, as humans are incomparable. The best example is Obama became the president of the US at 40, while Trump did the same job at 76. Thus, there is no comparison between humans. A comparison is made between two more or less same things. How can there be comparison when humans are unique in their own way? If you remain yourself, people will admire you and give you a lot of respect. When you copy others, in doing so you will lose your own existence and be left with nothing genuine. Be yourself, as everyone else has already been taken. Once you compare yourself with others, it will do nothing but to make you upset further. Because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one doesn't need others' approval. Because one accepts oneself, the whole world accepts him or her. You only try to make others happy when you don't care about your own happiness. You spend your whole life proving good to others. And in doing so you lose your own existence, and still people won't be happy with what you do for them. Those who believe in themselves and put their own happiness first will not bother to convince others. For they know their own happiness matters at the end of the day. When you become happy with what you are doing, then you won't need other people's approval. Those who depend upon others for their happiness, they will never be able to escape their dependency. People manipulate and exploit you if you are too much dependent on them. They take you for granted and do whatever suits them. Just do one thing and you will remain content for the rest of your life. And that is to believe and accept yourself. When you do that, the whole world will give you respect. Some people always despise themselves for certain outcomes. This approach is injurious to your overall personality. Nobody is perfect. There is just a need to own your shortcomings. Once you accept who you really are, this world will become less worrisome for you. Muddy water let stand becomes clear. The way to do it is to be. Your own positive future begins in this moment. All you have is right now. Every goal is possible from here. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. So the unwilling soul sees what's hidden, and the ever-wanting soul sees only what it wants. There is no greater danger than underestimating your opponent. Close your mouth, block off your senses, blunt your sharpness. Untie your knots, soften your glare, settle your dust. This is the primal identity. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Humans are a complex creature and have different behavior patterns. They cannot live in isolation. You have to interact with other beings in your daily affair. You make contact with both like-minded and opposite people. No one is perfect, and all lack some shortcomings. When you find some fault in others, you can learn from them. We often get irritated by some speech or action of other people. This comes into your unconscious and you try to refrain from doing the same. You need to learn coexistence and harmony. Some people are very bold and they call spade a spade. Instead of reacting to all the bullshit which makes you uneasy, try to better and improve yourself, as it will make the best of you. You are not responsible for bringing change to the whole world. Just improve yourself and you will have the most noble pleasure of understanding yourself. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Carl Jung is the infamous Swiss psychiatrist who theorized human unconscious and gave theory of personality. In this particular quote, Jung talks about self-awareness and conscious. According to Jung, human psyche contains three elements: the ego, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. You can do wonders only if you know yourself. You must work on yourself to remain ahead of others. Know your strengths and work on your weaknesses. Once you do that, you will become unstoppable. People who get inspired by the external environment and never take out time for insight often collapse. Listen to your intuition and you will never fear from any difficulty. You have got huge strength inside you to take you beyond limits. Everyone is blessed in some way. There is just need to recognize and polish your abilities. If you do that, you will be among high achievers. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. We are often misled by the facts and figures. As it is rightly said, we learn from history that we do not learn from history. We believe what we are told without any analysis. This is a kind of false conscious or unconscious. You need to uncover the unconscious in order to take full benefits of your inner talents. Without self-recognition, you cannot do anything properly. You'll fail at whatever you do in your life. Incompetent lot often blame everything to the fate. Don't include yourselves among those who are full of excuses. You are the master of your fate, and you can mold it according to your choice. Once you become enlightened and know your power, you will overcome all the hurdles which come in your way to prosperity. If you get stuck in the social values and norms, you will end up losing yourself. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. We are born free and almost have equal talents. You chalk out your own destiny. You decide your goals and use all means in your capacity to execute them. Whatsoever you do in your life, do it with heart. You only have one life, and you should not have any regrets when you die. Tough situations build stronger people. All the billionaires we see today were not born with a golden spoon. They choose a path and then prove themselves by doing what they were expert at. People will always oppose you when you dream big. There will always be hurdles, and even your near and dear ones may abandon you. But you have to believe in yourself and prove them wrong by your hard work and perseverance. People admire success stories. They hardly care about the